Good morning, beautiful Bravehearts. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and I'm here in Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico. And today we have a personal treatment and training leaving, and we have another personal treatment and training coming. And so let me just say this. Today's one a day, and I want everybody to understand something. I am no better than anyone else. I'm no worse than anyone else. And it's really up to you on what type of life you want to live. And if you're not going to be selfish enough to know how to create a perfect day for yourself and love and care for yourself, I can't help you. And nobody's going to help you. And you can get on your knees and beg, please. You can scream, have tantrums. You can go through life being angry. But today's one a day is upset or set up. They're actually the same. And if you take a look at the words upset, now let's flip them. Woo. Set up. Now just understand something. My spirit came down to this planet and or was entered into the womb, which for most people becomes a tomb, because the reality is that spirit beings on this planet are set up from the very beginning. I want to explain why, and because there's a reason for it. If you want to stay here and listen long enough, I'm going to show you something, and that is this, is that you were set up and that you are not a bad person. You're not a stupid person, okay? All right? And this is the God's truth. So when we come down to this planet, we are enslaved right away. Now, just in my own mind, I have to, is it okay if I make up my own stories? I mean, come on, the government makes up stories. The psycho rulers of this planet called Rothschilds, Rockefellers, J.P. Morgan, we all get to know them to a certain degree, but the Rothschilds believe that they're descendants from the actual aliens that actually created human beings. Now, you can go with that story, not go with that story, it doesn't really matter, but the reality is they do hold the keys. They do hold the keys to the world because they actually were told the rules by someone or somehow, or maybe they made them up themselves. But the reality is they know how to strategize together, even if they don't like each other. Even if they don't like any of the other psycho elites, they all come together to strategize to hogtie 8 billion people. So I'm telling you that you're not upset. You were set up in the very beginning. And if you don't want to calm down and if you don't want to have logic, because this is the one that really gets me, okay? There's intellect and then there's intelligence. And most of the people today have intellect. They don't have intelligence. You're going to tell me that somebody that has 1 PhD, 2 PhD, 3 PhD, 4 PhD, I can't even relate to them. I can't even relate to these people. I'm not sure if they're real. You can be academic to the point that there's no logic left and there's no life left either. And so just know this, that, Dr. Darrell Wolfe, wow, really impressive, right? I call it flybait. And the reality is that, did I earn it? Yes, I am a natural health doctor, and I am one of the best, and I can say it. Now you're going to say he's conceited too, and he's got an ego. No. First of all, if you don't want to get upset because you were set up, then you need to find your authentic self. You need to find your purpose and your passion on this planet. I found mine. I'm going to tell you, I also know this, that these psychos that ran the COVID, that are running the carbon tax, that are running climate change, that are running the electric cars, I mean, they're running everything that's ridiculous, that the majority of the population is always going to fall for it. Because the majority of the population needs someone to lead them. And they also need someone to get upset at. So you are going to remain upset for the rest of your life until you decide that you will honor, love, and respect yourself, and that you will use a logical mind, not intellect, but bloody well intelligence. I love my father and I love my mother. My mother was Roman Catholic. My father was a born-again Christian. My father every day would let me know that I was born a sinner. My father would also let me know that chances are I was going to hell because I was such a bad boy. Now, understand something. My father was ruled, schooled, and fooled, but he loved me dearly, and he just wanted to warn me of what was coming for me because that's the way it is with him. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I am never going to go with any story. And you know what? And this is not to offend you, But the reality is this, there's not a book written old enough that I am going to read and say that this thing is totally correct. And understand something right now, guys, and you better get this. You're going to tell, oh, no, this book was never touched. No human hands have ever touched this. As far as I'm concerned, you know, the whole thing is a lie. The only thing that's true to me is love, honor, and respecting myself to the point that I understand the planet. There's only one last thing that I need to do and I need to perfect. I mean, there's lots of things I want to do. Do you understand? But this one main thing, and that is that it doesn't matter what the majority does, it'll never upset me. It doesn't matter what my children do, it won't upset me. I will stay calm and I will tell them that I love them and I will stay logical and I won't blow up at them and I won't blow up at the world. I won't blow up at my neighbor. I won't blow up at all the people that are killing each other and killing themselves. I will allow this all to happen and I will mind my own business, which is I will not get upset. And so now I'm not set up, because as long as I'm upset, I can't think. And as long as I can't think, they win. And the reality is I'm going to let everybody do what they want. And then if somebody comes to me and says, Dr. Wolf, and you can believe this or not believe this, but I'm going to tell you something right now. If you were to only process and work from your heart and you were heart smart, you wouldn't be mindset to destroying yourself and everybody else. Now, the reality is you can believe this or not, you know, I started charging like $400 for a consult. And people are going, oh my God, that's outrageous. But the reality is that what I can do in 1 to 2 hours, I can do beyond any psychologist, psychiatrist, or psychotherapist. And the reality is this, I don't mind being challenged, okay, on this. And I'm going to tell you why, because I don't buy into any stories. I don't buy into any biblical stories, and not that I say they're lies. I'm not going to buy into them. I'm going to buy into my story. My story is that I get up every morning, I connect to my breath, and I'm going to stay in the present moment and own it. And I don't care what BS, okay, belief systems that somebody tells me or what the world's doing, okay, I am not going to let it distract me. I'm not going to let it distract me. You know, I did, and I only want to say this. This is not about, okay, you can have everything and more than I have. You can have way more than I have. I want to teach everything that I know, which is probably only about this much, but it's pretty good. I know it pretty good, but only this much. But the reality is this. You know, I was living in Canada, and 2 years prior to COVID, I said, you know what, we're getting out of Dodge. I smell it, I can taste it, and, you know, about a year and a half into COVID, that's when we got out, because it took a lot, because I have a big operation. But then I came down here and I ran Extapa Palace, and then my passion, my purpose was true vibrational integrity. But then I got involved, and the people that actually ran the Extapa Palace didn't have integrity, and they really don't, and they know that. And then a lot of people didn't. And integrity for my vision. My vision was not about making millions of dollars. My vision was actually creating a program that anybody could do to actually set them free to love, honor, and respect themselves and care for themselves first and foremost before anyone else or anything else. So help me God. And if you're questioning me about if I believe in God, I believe in the Creator. I don't believe in the God that 99.9% of the people believe in, because that's what upsets you and sets you up. That's all just a bloody setup. Everything's a setup. And you can say, well, this is written by the hands of God, but God doesn't have hands, so I don't know really where you're coming from. But the reality is here is that, you know, my father was set up, and I was set up, and you got set up, and you'll know. Because if you have any disease, that means you're out of alignment, out of harmony. I don't have any diseases. Do I have wrinkles? Yeah, I'm pretty intense sometimes. I get it. But the reality is that, you know, in the last 3 months, I probably, and honestly, and I'm not like proud of it, but I probably worked like 14, 15, 16 hours a day because of opening up our new personal treatment and training, which is right here. And we're expecting a new group coming in 2 hours. But I will tell you, and you can believe this or not, and you want to get to a point in your life that you say, you know what, as far as I know, I'm the best of my passion and purpose and what I do, and I can really bring the thunder down, and I'm living my life the way I want to. I'm not going to tell you that I know where I'm going after I pass from this planet, but I know that energy never dies. And I know that energy can be transformed into physical and then go back into the invisible. And I'm not going to tell you I know anything else, but you know, you're going to line up 45,000 different religions, big ones, and then the smaller ones are hundreds of thousands. And then you're going to tell me that you already know and you read it from a book and you've got it all planned out. Well, I'm going to tell you something now, right now. My religion is living in the present moment and own it, and not being set up or getting upset, because you'll know when you are set up because you're upset. And then there's a lot of you, and you all have programs. Don't believe me? Get a calendar and mark on the calendar, oh my God, I got upset for 5 minutes and it was 3:15 on Wednesday. I promise you that if you track it for a month, you'll find out that your brain runs you like a bloody computer. So does that mean mine does? Wait a minute here. I will tell you that there's nothing I hate on this planet. I don't hate broccoli. Okay, I don't really care for it, but I don't hate broccoli. I don't hate anyone on this planet, and I don't hate anything that's going on this planet. And guess what? You were set up. Now you're upset. Do you see? So, oh yeah, but Daryl, what are you trying to tell me, that you never get upset? Actually, no. I told you that that's the last thing that I'm really working on. That's a true negative, because the reality is I should be able to allow my children, my family, and the world to do what it needs to do, and that's what? Be screwed up. I could use another word, but then I'd be in big trouble. But be screwed up. And it will always be screwed up. The world's always been screwed up, but I don't need to be screwed up. You don't need to be screwed up, but guess what? You're going to be screwed up, because you're going to follow along with the family curse. You're going to follow along with the majority of your family members. You're going to follow along with the majority of the population because they rule, right? No, the majority of the population is being ruled. Seriously? Are you kidding? 92% of the population in the United States, okay, and Canada, and I will tell you down in Mexico now, have an autoimmune disease. Everybody's walking around with a walking disease and they don't even know it. I mean, good God, please help me out here. Help me out. And the reality is I'm going to love more, I'm going to laugh more, and I'm going to dance more. And understand this, you know, you wonder how you can pull off things. Well, if you have the imagination and the creation to do it, you know, I created a corporation with the help of some other people financially. And, you know, we have this beautiful personal treatment and training house down here that can accommodate up to 8 people, and it's just absolutely gorgeous, right from stem to stern. And we have the best training and the best equipment. I'm telling you, I guarantee that if a person comes to me and they don't leave like blown away by their own healing, yeah, they will, and they do every day. And we did it when we were in Extapa Palace, and we had 100 to 200 people coming down at a time. I'll never do that again. Our limit will be, you know, we could do a training of 8 to 12 in this house. It's that big. I have a big training center up on top of the house, and that's all going to be glassed in and air conditioned so that we can do all our courses down here. See, you have to understand something. Canada, I can't trust Canada. Canada is giving its soul away. The United States is probably going to go into civil war pretty soon. And Mexico, you know, I'm not saying that nothing will happen down here, but hardly anything. You know, the reality is that there's no chemtrails, there's no 5G. I only eat organic foods, and I have sun like this every day. I swim in a saltwater structured pool or in the ocean. You know, I walk on the beach at least 15 minutes. I never wear shoes, even if I go into stores and do all of these things. And you're going to go, well, what's that got to do with being upset or the setup? Well, the setup is that, you know, I walk in my bare feet. And the reality is that, you know, about once every 6 weeks, I'll go and get a pedicure because I use my feet for my shoes. But the thing is, it keeps me more grounded. And I really don't care what anybody thinks. I don't do it to be different. You understand something. If you're not different than everyone else and you're not your authentic self, and that means you are going to go around being upset for the rest of your life. I am going to, honestly, the people that know me, really know me and are close to me, that I know they love me unconditionally as I love them. Okay? When I come on here sometimes and people have never come on here before, they go, oh my God, he's too much for me. Well, the reality is I'm not on here to stroke you. I'm on here to crack your coconut enough that you go, holy shit, I do matter. And yes, you know what? He's right. And understand, if you look at real science, guys, if you look at real science, can you do that? Not the BS, real science? The majority of the population, which is 999 out of 1,000, are only in the present moment 2%. So don't think that the majority is ever going to heal. Listen, I was dealing with a person, and I still am, not dealing with, but, you know, we're dealing with each other, I guess, getting to know each other. But the reality is, this person here has enough finances to actually turn around their life completely and be well. This person also knows that they're on the edge, okay? All right? Okay, so this person here is like, that I'm talking about, is 7 years younger than me. And the reality is, this person here could look like they're, I don't know, 15, 12 years older than me. So the reality is it's your belief systems that are going to give you the ride that you have. So that's your ticket, okay? Ticket to, you know, hell of a road, or you know, heaven in the present moment. And I don't believe in hell, and I don't believe in heaven. I believe that it happens right now. I don't believe in all the other stuff that 99% of the population believes in. And if I did, I wouldn't have come down here and opened up another personal treatment and training. I wouldn't be opening up a huge, it's called Wolf Studios. It's huge. I've got 6 different sets in Wolf Studios so that we can bring really amazing people that have a lot of power around the world to come and do shows with us and master classes. And then I am releasing the world's most powerful health app. And that will be done in about 2 months. It was supposed to be released already, but that's what happens when you create something that nobody's ever done before. And that's what you want to do. You want to create something that nobody's ever done before, and almost nobody, and that is finding your authentic self. I'm going to tell you something right now. So the TV's a setup. Everything in the media is a setup. Sending your kids to school is a setup. Most of you going to church is a setup. Okay? And I will never go to church. I will never go to church. If somebody wants to do a wedding and we want to do it on the beach, I'll do it on the beach. I'm not going into another church. And there are people that I dearly love and care for, and they go to church every day. And I think that if it's giving them the power that they need, then do it. My church is the beach. My church is the sun. My church is the universe. My creator is an energy source that doesn't have a dysfunctional personality that loves me one moment and hates me the next. And actually, I was given everything that I ever needed. And when you can get down on your knees and beg God, please, but just remember something, you are set up for this to be upset. And the reality is you are enough. And it doesn't matter who I talk to, and it really doesn't. I mean, I talk to people from all over the world, from different cultures, from different education, and I'll be honest with you, there's many different things on the planet, but the key is you don't want to join a cult. You don't want to join a cult. You know, you want to be your authentic self, and that's what all our training's about, because I'm going to tell you, that's your mission, is not to be a follower, is to actually lead yourself to your authentic self and then teach that to people. I never want people to follow me. That is, if there's a sin, that's that, is to get people bowing down to you. Like when even people come and take my course, I go, don't thank me for nothing. Thank yourself for showing up. Thank yourself for spending the money. This woman I was talking about, okay, she has all the money to do everything she needs. All I got to do is convince her, okay, that her poverty consciousness is stopping her from everything. And understand this, most of the world is in poverty, and it's because they have a poverty belief system. I used to have a poverty belief system when I was younger, and that was a setup, because my father had a poverty belief system, but it was more than that. My father believed that, you know, he could be closer to what he believed in if he was poverty, and if he gave everything away, and if he humbled himself down to the point that he didn't have his own authentic personality, that he couldn't even stand up for himself, because he believed that something that was out there somewhere was going to stand up for him and was going to deliver what he needed. And the reality is I believe in the creator, but I believe it's teamwork that makes the dream work. And that which is called the creator has already done everything for me. And then I can choose to destroy it down here by believing in 99.9% of the population's belief systems, which will suck the living energy out of you. And you can say, who do you think you are, Daryl? You think you're better than us? Absolutely not. I think that I have a logical intelligence, and I don't have some kind of intellect from governmental schools. So the reality is you couldn't wow me if you're a government official, you're an actor, you're an icon, You can't threaten me whether you're a government official. I'm not threatened at all. I mean, it's a laughing joke. Okay. And we proved it during COVID. You know, I could have wallpapered my whole living room with all the tickets I got. I got thousands and thousands of dollars of fines from bylaw, from my local government. And then every time I would fly, I wouldn't give my information and I wouldn't consent to anything. So Lori and I were getting tickets anywhere from $5,000 to $12,000 every time that we've never paid and never will pay, because I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay because I'm not going to play. And the reality is I'm not that stupid. And the reality is that all of these are not laws. And the majority of the population is going to fall for a bunch of BS in about another 3 to 6 months. And then we're going to go for another ride. And I'm not going to go for that ride. Okay, I'll go to Canada, I'll go to Australia, I'll go to Europe, and I'll go to the United States. But until they've decided to, because that's what people do. Did you ever notice what people do? They go on the path of maybe they're on a new diet or an exercise program, but then the subconscious always wins, doesn't it? Subconscious wins and then they derail again. Okay, so the reality is I'm just going to let the two countries that I used to live in, United States and Canada, to just go and destroy themselves. And then after they destroy themselves and they want to start picking it up again, and people show some respect for themselves and stand up for themselves, then I'd like to go back there and live there again. But I'll be in Mexico, I believe, here for at least 5 to 7 years, where I can peacefully teach all my courses, do my trainings, and truly help people and be me. You know, if it got to the point here, like, see, people are so ruled and schooled and fooled. You know, people actually think you come down here and you got to worry about the cartel. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. Has there been stuff with them? Well, yeah, but guess what? You know, the biggest terrorist cartel in the world is called our United States government. Seriously? I mean, seriously. I mean, yeah, think about it, guys. United States has since 1965 created 55 wars, and you go ahead and try to find one that wasn't a banker's war. So the reality is, you know, you just believe what you want to believe. I mean, how many of my American relatives and friends even have passports? I mean, they think the United States is the everything and everything. But the reality is this. It's not going to be great. And it's called, how do I say this? It's called program deconstruction. So, yeah, United States is being pulled apart, and it will be pulled apart. And then there's Canada, where, yeah, I can't even talk about that one. That one's like beyond me. But the reality is, let's get back to it. So you were set up so that you would be upset. Now, when you're upset, how many things do you smash, like relationships? How many immune systems do you crash? Okay, all right, how many headaches do you have? How exhausted are you after? Okay, now here's the deal. I'd like a person to try to make me upset. It's not going to happen. And you know, with the type of work that I do, not work, it's a passion. But with the things that I do you know how often people threaten me with lawsuits and stuff that aren't true? People that, believe it or not, I don't like to use the word, but are jealous of what I can accomplish in a short period, and how I don't listen to any authority, because there is no authority, okay? Even that which we call the creator of the universe doesn't want authority over me. It wants to see if I can, on a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure where everybody is poisoning and killing themselves and each other, if I can rise above and have self-love and self-care for myself and every individual, even the person that's attacking me. I got this so well now. I get it. You know, I struggled with it for years. I knew that unconditional love and care for yourself was the holy grail. And it felt like lie for years, like I was lying to myself, you know, and it felt flaky and it felt like a fairy tale. And now I just love it so much, and I just love myself. I love my body. I love the world. I love my life. I love the present moment. I love there are no failures with me. Because every time, I got to tell you this, and I know you're so far from this, because it's taken me a lot of love and care for myself and patience to get there. And that's it. Are you ready for this? Nothing ever goes wrong. Everything that happens, okay, is trying to lead you to something better. Oh my God, I wanted that house so bad. You know, when we came here, we looked at about 40, 50 places, right? And then we just started visualizing exactly what we wanted, and we calmed ourselves down. And then we just really, but see, you have to go through that. We had to look at all these houses and go, no, we don't want that one. We do want this. Oh, we want this for our personal treatment and training for everybody to come to from around the world. But here's our home, and this is what we want there. So understand something. I will never, ever be upset because things aren't going my way, because they are. We have been taught to be impatient with ourselves more than anything else in the world. But we have been taught impatience. Impatience was the main thing that we've been taught, because impatient people don't accomplish much. They break shit, okay? They also, okay, they can't have any control over their life. So then they try to control their family. They try to control their life. I don't try to control my life. I don't try to control it. If it says go right now, I go right. But I process everything through my heart, never my mind. And even though I'm going to tell you something right now, you may not believe this, but I am one of the closest people to actually perfecting the subconscious that I know. I have met a few other people, and understand, if you can perfect your subconscious, and people are going, what does that even mean? And I get it. But know this, the brain is 90% subconscious. And from 0 to 7, we were actually created and programmed. Okay, there's some really, really great teachers out there. One teacher that I don't agree with his thing. And I think that I would love to debate him on it, not challenge him. But the reality is, he says from 0 to 7, the reason why we're a sponge, and that everything that happens, that we take it 100% true, and this is real life, whether daddy was loving mommy or beating her up, okay, that's just the way life is. From 0 to 7, you take it all in. There's no filter, there's no judgment, there's observation, and you're just a human sponge. And I'm telling you, we were created like that so that we could be great little slaves. And I'm telling you the truth. And nobody, you've never heard this before. I listen to people, and I listen to them, and nobody talks about this, but our brain was actually altered. So from 0 to 7, that we could be programmed by all of these corrupt corporations. Oh yeah, and when I mean this, I mean it. And I'm going to give you one example, and it goes all the way through. It's infected everywhere, but you wouldn't notice it because you think infection is actually real. You think infection is not a dysfunctional belief system. Disease is a belief system. You have to believe in disease to have it. I believe in perfect health for myself, and I bloody well have it. I'm not saying I don't get maybe a little headache sometime, but I know why it came. I don't say I get a little ache and pain because I know why it came. But let's get back to the other thing. So let's just take, okay, the strongest, most powerful religion in the world, which be what? The Catholic religion, the Vatican. The Vatican is a country in with itself, just the Vatican. And it does money more than any other corporation in the world. And it also runs the biggest operation in the world. It also hides all the secrets of our origin down in its bunker. And I don't care. They can have it. I'm just going to create my own world here. And I don't need to know history, and it's called his story for a reason. And the story they told you is a damn lie. Okay, if you have 1% truth, okay, if you're the majority of the population, you only have 1% truth you're living on. Okay, and the other 99% is how beautiful you are, how amazing you are, how that you could create anything that you want, and that your body, your mind, and your mouth is a speaker system that goes to the creator of everything. And guess what? You just get what you talk about. I hate getting beat up. 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 I hate being poor. I hate being poor. I just want to pay my bills. I just want to pay. Well, you're just going to be all pay. You are going to be poor. You know, you focus on what you want. You don't say or focus on what you don't want. And then at least if you're telling people, only what you do want. If they can't deliver it, they'll finally leave. You go ahead. You keep talking about what you don't want, and you're going to get it every day in every way. And understand something. I am one of the best whole life consultants. I've put my whole life into it. By the third day, when people come to my whole life coach course, this isn't a sales pitch. So just get that. Because eventually, I'm just going to not do this anymore, right? I'm only doing this until it serves me as well. Because guess what? But it serves everyone else. Now, did you get that? That's not selfish. The reality is until you're serving yourself, you don't know how to serve others. And if you are serving others and you don't know how to serve yourself, which means love and care for yourself, then you're just using others like one big large nipple because it's time for you to feed. And that's the God's truth. And understand, every belief system needs to be fed. And my belief systems are this. I love you no matter if you care for me. I love you no matter if you don't like me. Okay? All the wars in the world, I'll mind my own business because the best thing I can do is to teach unconditional love for each and every person. You can't teach people how to love others. That's never going to happen. Until they love themselves, they can't do it. They can't do it. So don't give me your religion stuff, please. Don't want it. Don't want it on this platform. Don't want it in my courses. But you know what? You do whatever you need to do and you believe in whatever you need to believe. And if it's based on a fearful system, then I'm going to call it a lie. I will never fear the creator of everything. Ever. The creator of everything is a creator. And also, I will never put the responsibility of how a moment goes or my day goes or my life goes on the creator. And I will never do that. I will never get down on my knees and beg God, please. I will put out to the universe what it is I want to do. Because the universe, the creator, is not going to stop the wars within you, within your brothers and sisters. And understand something. I was raised a Christian. And guess what? For a Christian to go to war and spill blood, it's that easy. And it's been that easy through history. That's messed up. And I'm not putting down Christians. I'm just trying to tell you that we spill too much blood. And I get it. I get it. I get it because I know this. And I'm not telling you that you're low vibrational. I'm telling you that the human species, okay, anything that has to eat and poop is not high vibrational. I'm telling you that I know that I'm not a high vibrational entity within the universe. I know that I have to earn that right. So the day that I stop hurting myself, my brothers and my sisters, no matter who they are, and that I have compassion for them. It doesn't mean I won't stand up for myself. It doesn't mean that I'm going to hang around with people that have vibrational belief systems that are toxic. I won't do it because we are vibrational beings and you must protect your vibration. I will not be entertained by anything that's got to do with aggressive, negative behavior. I will not, okay, adulterate this body. I will tell you, I will dabble around with things, okay, and because I don't mind an altered state. But the reality is there's nothing like being clear-headed, grounded, processing through your heart, and knowing that the creator of everything has never judged you. It observes, and it doesn't have to give you anything because the only reason why you don't have certain things is because you have belief systems that block it. You came down here to create, and we are miserable creators. We're either destroying or creating. There's no such thing as neutral. There's no such thing as neutral. I am so glad I'm off the hook. I am so glad that I'm off the hook. And I'm off the hook with myself. I'm off the hook with my creator. And I'm off the hook with you. Because guess what? I'm going to love you anyway. And I swear to God, I'm going to love you anyway. It doesn't matter what's going on with you, what you may think of me, what you may think of your world. I am going to love you anyway. I get it. You came down here, okay? We were all programmed from 0 to 7. Then we went to a governmental school that totally crushed our spirit. And you can say, well, I really like school. Yeah, because you're a social being. But the reality is, if we could show you what it could be like if the government, which is not, the government isn't the government, because there's an internal government. whether you believe it or not. Why don't you do your homework for the first time and go and do some real homework and dig into the Rothschilds. Go into my library and take a look. I'm going to rock your world. And watch that video. Go watch Medical Mafia. And the reality is this. I'm going to tell you something. When I first started going down the rabbit hole, and I started doing it when I was 23, okay, I needed to know. I've always wanted to know. I'm not going to hide. It made me sick to my stomach for a while. I was sick to my stomach, then I was angry, and then I realized something. Daryl, if you're going to play Monopoly, play by the rules. You come down on planet Earth here, and you've got life-threatening situations with everyone. Everybody's trying to poison you and murder you, and you're doing the same thing to them. The reality is can we just bring our vibration up high enough that we're not disrespecting, dishonoring ourselves, and selling our soul for a few dollars? I will never sell it. I've got a personal treatment and training that is leaving today, and I'm going to tell you something. They wanted all the therapies. Boom, boom, boom. Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. Do you know how much money I could have taken from this with the cardiac bed, the Cellsonic, the non-surgical, the continual emotional? I mean, and I wouldn't let them do it. I go, no, the beach is your doctor. The sun is your doctor. Swimming in this beautiful saltwater structured pool is your doctor. Using the Biotron, the Avicen, the vibration machine, going out on our bicycles here and just driving to the beach, that's your doctor. You need to understand something. If you don't create a new program where you're actually letting yourself off the hook, there's so many people that after a while, you're not going to judge them. You're going to see their programs, okay, where they were beat up so badly that they will work themselves to death to get approval from a father or a mother that is not even living on the planet anymore. And because it's just been a subconscious program. And guess what? Set up to be upset. So upset, flip the words like I told you, and it's set up. There's always a clue there. Just like all the movies, The Matrix, Monsters, Inc., all the movies that are coming out, they're showing how dark everything's getting in the world. Well, it's not. We're going into another big change. And it's going to happen whether you like it or not. I will never, ever be digitized. Will I allow digital currency into my life? Well, I better. Or that's not selling yourself to the devil. But the reality is this. You can try to stop the fiat currency from leaving. You can try to stop certain things. Why don't you stop protesting? And why don't you start being a cheerleader for what you want in your life? Most people don't realize that they're living where they don't need to live, putting up with what they don't need to put up with, because they believe that they're limited, okay? And that's only because of their belief systems. I have no limitation. You got to know something. I ran the Ixtapa Zihuatanejo Palace retreat, worldwide retreat. And we had, in 1 year, think about this. We had 2,800 people come down, for healing on some sort. Now, I never want to do that again because it was like, I felt like the Pied Piper. And, I don't want to do that. So what I want to do is I want to teach everyone that they go from patient to practitioner, from victim to hero. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to leave you for this with the day. And here's the deal, okay? Let me see if you can do this. And let's see if you can say that I'm not full of you-know-what crap or this is stupid. When people go, oh, that's stupid, and they say it right away, that's just action, reaction. That's just, your subconscious rules you. My subconscious rules me. But I've done the homework, okay? Because I've got unconditional love and care for myself and everyone else, and I know that I can make as much money as I want. I can be as healthy as I want or as sick as I want, and it all depends on my belief systems. And I've weaned out every belief that my mother, father, or my born-again Christian religion gave me that was actually choking me, belittling me, telling me I'm a sinner, I'm a loser, okay? All right? If I would have kept that, I would have never gotten unconditional love for myself because nobody can have unconditional love for themselves if you're a sinner. Nobody can have unconditional love for yourself if you're a loser. I'm not going to win all the time, Okay? But the reality is not one person comes down here to destroy themselves or the world. It's a setup. And the reality is this. We're going to make the game really hard, and let's see at the end of the day if you can have unconditional love and care for yourself and everyone else. That's all. That's it. If you were to rock that, you'd rock everything. Okay, all them important things that you thought were important won't be important anymore. Try this. Try this. And then come on my show. And also, if you do something, okay, and it's not about a product you take, it could be, or a course you took with us, or a master class. It could be just something I gave you like this, I'm going to tell you. Then give us a testimonial. All right? All right? Send us a testimonial, dodtestimonials.com. Send a testimonial in and just put your first name, maybe the state you live in so people think it's real. And the reality is don't do a testimonial that makes me money. Do one that gives people hope, courage, and faith. And I do say hope, but I don't believe in hope. Hope don't float, baby. You know, I hope I get well. I hope this works. Well, this you don't have to hope this works because it will. See if you can just give yourself a calm space. Let me see. Just do it and prove to me, and try to do it because you really do love yourself or you'd like to. Not because, oh, I'm just going to prove he's wrong. Because guess what? If you want to prove I'm wrong, you'll always be able to do it. Because there's going to be enough information out there to prove that I'm wrong about everything. Because I don't match up to anything almost. You do get that, right? You do understand that I don't act like the majority, and I don't act like the minority. Because I know one thing, that if I don't rise, okay, I'm going to get a big surprise that I'm going to be just going around loop to loop, and I'm not doing this, okay? Remember something. You know, my kids used to play on PlayStation. They used to get frustrated when things didn't go their way. They hated the game, but when they were winning, they loved the game. And let me tell you something right now. And the game can throw whatever it wants at me. If there's a bump, I'm going to slow down, breathe, I'll figure it out. If I'm told to make a quick right-hand turn, it's not a scream, but a beautiful message, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to also understand that when I start off with my day, that there's a creator at play. And if I allow myself to tap into it because I deserve to be tapped into the creator of everything. Thank you very much. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care that you think that I'm going to hell or that I don't deserve to have anything because you have nothing to do with my life. You don't. I have everything to do with it. It's all about vibration. And if I were to allow outside vibration to actually affect me, infect me, do you think that I would have this? I created this in the last 3 months. It's a beautiful oasis for people to come from all over the world. If you don't believe me, go to dod5star.com. And it's called 5-star because it doesn't matter. The prices we charge, you know, I'm going to tell you something, and then you can think of me whatever you want. My God, we charge $350 for this house. Go on Airbnb and check a house that looks like this and has this. And you're talking about $1,600 to $1,800 a night. I could rent it out and get that. And I'm telling you, I know I can. But we charge $350 because we're here to help people to find their authentic selves. And we're going to create the most beautiful healing platform the world has seen. And then I want to duplicate it and show that anybody can become a practitioner like me. Everybody has what it takes. So here's what I want you to do to start. I want you to sit down in a quiet place. And before you do this, I want you to go to, okay, here's the steps. Download pdgfree.com. If you've done it already, great. But perfectdayguidefree.com. And it's pdgfree.com. So when you download that, I want you to go into the 12 loving steps. I want you to read the Love Band, Life Band step. I want you to read the mirror work and the couples connection. If you're a couple and you could pull off the couples connection every night for 33 nights, you will love like you've never loved her or him in your life. You heard what I just said. Never have you loved like this. You'll get rid of all the grand illusions where they wanted men and women to come against each other or couples to come against each other. All of that will disappear. Go look at the couples connection. Now, but you don't have to do all that. Do one thing for me, and this is it. Go take a look at the Braveheart Oath. Put the Braveheart Oath on your mirror. State it 10 times, morning and night. Do it out loud and do it proud. And you probably won't want to because you'll be embarrassed because the family will think you're a whack job. And the only reason why is because nobody's taken that belief on yet that you should love and care for yourself. So go in and do the Braveheart oath, okay? And it's the most beautiful thing. And then guess what? Learn it off by heart. And then every time you say it, look into your eyes about this far away from the mirror. And with every time you say it, you're going to say it with more love and more depth from that God spot in your heart for you. And you won't make it through. You're going to say it sloppy. You're going to say it fast. Or you're going to go, this doesn't work for me. Or you're going to choke up. Or you're going to cry. And the reality is because you have never loved yourself. Okay, I'm going to tell you something. I've done it all. I've done every type of meditation. I've done it all. I've been with some of the greatest teachers of meditation, and they didn't love themselves. They just keep on meditating to try to get centered. Well, I don't believe in meditation like I used to. I'm not telling you not to do it. We need to do it. Or you need to pray, or you need to be quiet. I believe in walking meditation. I'm a walking meditation. Do I tell you that I won't roar? I will roar, but I will be finished in 30 seconds. And I'll say what I need to, and I'll come right back to center. I will not hold on to anger, hate, resentment, jealousy, shame, fear, self-loathing, none of it. That was because now you're upset because you were set up and you didn't know it, and so was everybody else. So you're swimming in a big pool of caca, and guess what? You think it's normal, and you think that we've reached our limit, like the medical breakthroughs. Okay, we got another medical breakthrough, which is a medical breakdown, and there's been no medical breakthroughs. Antibiotics are not a medical breakthrough. They're a medical breakdown. Operations are not a medical breakthrough. A medical breakthrough is where the physicians and the surgeon would start teaching a perfect day on how people should love and care for themselves and what they should eat and drink and how to do it, and teaching them where the bloody liver is. I can ask most people where their liver is, and they don't even know. They don't know where their stomach is. They think it's down here. And then they think they have stomach problems when they have bowel problems. People know nothing, almost. The majority know nothing about real health. They might have some high school health, and that's it. That's called Rockefeller Rothschild health. So now what you're going to do is get that Braveheart oath, look in the mirror, and you're going to state it out 10 times. Look how long it takes for you to show any love, any love, any love, any love for yourself. That's why they got us. That's why they got us. That's why you're an alcoholic, or you're a sugar addict, or all of these different things. We're out of alignment. That's all. So get in there, do the Braveheart oath 10 times with all your heart, baby. All your heart. And if you can't do it with all your heart, I want you to think about the day your child was born, or maybe your child got really sick, or they were in a car accident. I want you to go in deep, and I want you to stir up some emotion. Can you do that? We don't show love to ourselves. Are people lovely? Do they love life? They love life, but do they really? You can't love your life unless you love yourself. But don't worry, because nobody really, not nobody, 1 out of 10,000 people truly love themselves. And it's not going to change. Are you getting this? It's not going to change. Look how you tried to change your family. Look how you tried to change the diet in your family. Good luck. Good luck. And your family loves you, but nobody knows that it's the subconscious ganging up and coming together to destroy anything beautiful in the house. Because the reality is we're all drug addicts, okay, because they've drugged us in every which way, shape, and form. So now you're going to do the Braveheart oath 10 times with all your heart. And if you can't say it out loud, then whisper it. And if you have to say it to yourself because you're ashamed for loving yourself, which most of you are ashamed of loving yourself, and God knows we wouldn't want the kids to hear, or the husband or the wife or anybody else to hear that we're actually stating something that we love ourselves. Oh, you're such a self-centered prick. Why? Nobody's allowed to love themselves in this house. We got to love each other. And if we don't love each other, we're going to hold love as a ransom until we get everybody in the family to do what we need them to do. And we think we're in control. So go and do the Braveheart oath 10 times with all your heart. And then guess what? Then I want you to sit down. Not only 10 times. Okay, we're talking about 3 to 5 minutes here, guys. Really? Seriously? Oh no, I know, you don't have any time for yourself. You just got time for pretending that you're saving your family and saving the world, and your protests are actually making a big difference. And I'm not saying that they never do. I'm just trying to tell you, if you don't come first and foremost, then you never will. That's it, end of story. I don't know why I never come first. Well, because you don't pick you. If you don't pick you first, you're not coming first. Do you get this? Okay, so after you've done the Braveheart, see, acting insane, aren't I? And I can do this. I can act any way I want. But I'm going to get my message across. Oh my God, this guy's insane. But this is what I need to do, is be a little insane. So do the Braveheart oath 10 times with all your heart. All your heart. If you don't feel some strings tugging inside on your heart, then guess what? You just sucker punched yourself again. And then what you're going to do is sit down and you're going to say this one thing. If I totally loved and cared for myself, and if I believe that the creator of everything has always worked for me, and it's only the belief systems that don't work for me, then I need to change them. So if it's true that I'm not a sinner, I'm a winner. If I'm not a failure, I just haven't focused enough on repeating something that would love, honor, and respect myself. And that's the God's truth. Oh, let me just tell you, I'm ready for any religious person. I'm ready for any psychologist, psychiatrist, okay, psychoanalyst to come on my show live. My phone number is 469, it's Sunday, but please call me. 469-861-8884. And I will not reject you. But remember, when you come on, let's stay logical, let's stay calm, and then you tell me where I'm wrong. So now you're going to sit down with that piece of paper, okay? And what are you going to do? You're going to actually write that. Where would I live if I had a choice? Who would I be living with? What would my life look like? What would my health look like? What would my finances look like? And everything. And it doesn't have to be really detailed. You don't go too detailed, please. Not at the beginning. But when you're trying to purchase things in life, whether they're physical or invisible, get right down to the smell and the taste of everything, okay? And here's the deal. You will actually have it if you're patient, if you know that the Creator will bring it to you at the right time in the right place. But guess what? You're not going to have it if you're not deserving. So if you're a sinner and you deserve to be punished, what comes with that? Judgment, jail. So you just go ahead and you keep on keeping your beliefs. And then you tell me that I'm dangerous. You tell me that I'm a troublemaker. Oh yeah, I guess I am, aren't I? The reality is this. Anybody that buys into my BS, okay, they're not struggling with the world. They're not struggling with themselves. Now, how does that make them dangerous? It makes them dangerous because your belief systems, and the majority of the people with belief systems don't even smell anything like I teach. So little do you know that subconscious is 90% of your brain, so it's going to protect your beliefs, whether they're killing you and your family and the world. And the world's never going to be killed, just know that. It's the people in it, and the animals, and the birds, and the bees, and the flowers, and the trees. I mean, this is what we do, isn't it? Okay? You know, I mean, I get it. I came to a planet that everything must die, and we're killers. Well, I'm not playing it. I'm not playing it. I'm not playing the game. Okay? I'm not taking sides for no one. No one. I'm not against anyone. I'm not. I'm for something. Unconditional love and care for everyone, and that's all. That's it. That's my message. So now you're going to write this Braveheart Heroes contract. That's what it's called. You're going to first do the Braveheart Oath, which you can find in the 12 Loving Steps. Download pdgfree.com. Go to the 12 Loving Steps. Okay? Get the Braveheart Oath. Put it on the mirror. Do it 10 times in the morning with all your heart and at night before bed. And then you're going to that's going to take you a big whopping 5 minutes. Then you're going to take 5 to 10 minutes. Well, the first time it's going to take you maybe 20 minutes, half hour to write your Braveheart Oath. And that's an oath to you. But guess what? If you're a sinner, not a winner, if you're a loser, or if you feel that you need to be punished because that's part of your biggest training that you've got, then guess what? This won't work. But if you want it to work, you'll struggle through this. You will struggle because guess what? Just giving you what you deserve is going to feel like a sin. And guess what sin means? Missing the mark. Go look it up in the dictionary. Okay? So you interpret anything you want, and I'll do the same. And when I let myself off the hook, I know that there's some people on here going, he'll get his when he dies. Oh, really? Will I? Wow, that's amazing. Wow. It's just like people are going, you know, Biden, he'll get his in court, and if he doesn't, he'll get his in an afterlife. Really? You know that for sure? Oh, because the Bible told you so, or some other book? Why can't you mind your own business and start putting love in your heart? Because guess what? Your anger and your hate for him, it's really fueling what they want. Do you get this? You get this, don't you? They're all just actors, okay? So here's the deal. So now we're going to do the Braveheart loving oath 10 times with all our heart. Then we're going to go and work on our Braveheart Heroes contract on the way we would love to see our life. It's not going to come overnight. And then I want you to, every morning and every night, do the Braveheart oath again. And then look at do the Braveheart, my apologies. Do the Braveheart oath 10 times like we do every day. It's routine, repetition. Why do you think that it's so easy for you to poison yourself and poison your family and poison the world with your mouth, with your thoughts? All repetition, baby. So now you're going to go and do the Braveheart oath 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night. And then right after that, you're going to look at the Braveheart Heroes contract you started to write. And you're just going to take 5 minutes. You're going to retweak it. And you're going to keep doing that. And you do it for 33 days. And then you know what you're going to do? Please just do this for me. You're the one who has to do all the work. Do never thank me for anything. But at least call me up and say, you know what? You didn't take any of my money. I actually did this for 33 days. Watch out what's going to happen. Don't call me and thank me. Call me and thank yourself for doing something that the rest of your family, the rest of your friends, the rest of the neighborhood, and the rest of your community would never do. Because guess what? You've all been told that this is as good as it gets. And you think love is something you get from someone else. Good God. Good God help us. Good God help us. Okay? The love that we have is unlimited, and it's inside of us. And that was God-given. And there is real truth. And you can take all the other stuff and just take it where the light doesn't shine, because it's going to take you where the light doesn't shine. Today, Daryl, you're off the hook, baby. You've done your best. Were you perfect? Well, you were as perfect as your belief systems would allow you. That wasn't good enough, Jimmy. Well, of course it's not going to be. And until Jimmy changes his belief systems, that's as good as it gets. So stop judging him. Stop judging Jennifer and Chris and Timmy and Billy and all of them, because they can only do what their belief systems give them. And if you're not going to go to something like a whole life coach certification with me, find something that compares to it. Because understand something, unless you want to go to gymnastic boot camp where you learn how to brainwash yourself, then the world's done it for you. So good luck. Good luck. And don't tell me what I should be. I'm not going to tell you what you should be, because guess what? You have a purpose, you have a passion, you have a destiny, and you need to find that. And I would love to help you, but you don't need my help. Go find someone else to help you if I'm not the guy. But understand something. There are 8 billion pieces in this puzzle, and every one of us is a piece. And the day that we have unconditional love and care, and we are doing our passion and purpose, minding our business, and we don't give a sugar what anybody else says that we should be doing or what we have to do. We are going to do it for ourselves. And understand what kind of world that will be, and it will never happen, but you could have it. Your family may not buy into it. Your friends will not buy into it. The majority will never buy into it, because guess what? You cannot say this. You can't tell a person in kindergarten, okay, that they should be in university. We all have been there. I've been a liar, a thief, a cheat. I've been it all. I know that in my life. And guess what? Everybody is. People will deny it, or they'll get a religion that they're off the hook every time they do something wrong. I'm not going to get down on my knees and talk to some priest. I'm not going to go ask for forgiveness. I don't need forgiveness. I want to observe. I want to learn how to become better. I'm not going to judge myself for you or your belief system. I know the things that I've done that I've been out of alignment, but I did them because I was in survival mode, because I had belief systems that would not allow me to be worthy, would not allow me to be authentic, would not allow me. And now, guess what? I know something. I'm not out to start a war with anyone, but guess what? There's nobody. There's nobody that is authority over me, because I move through life. I'm not going to speed down the road that I have to get a ticket. I'm not going to do anything to have a ticket, but guess what? I'm going to be more off grid. You know, you're not off grid, Daryl. You tell everybody who you are and where you are. Well, because guess what? That's my God-given right. I am not picking a fight with anyone. I'm telling you that I am sovereign. There is no religion that owns me. There is no educational system that controls me. Okay, we can actually give doctorates. Oh yeah, doctorate of nutritional medicine with our university. We can give actual protection, indigenous protection, to all practitioners. They can't be touched by white man's law in any country, almost every country in the world. And you can't be touched. It can't go into court. You can't. No natural health or medical practitioner can be taken to task anymore. I'm telling you, we have the keys. I don't fight with nothing. I figure out what it is that they did, and we go and we pull the curtains back, and then we figure it out, and we go, yeah, baby, we got this. And that's how it is. You go ahead. You fight with yourself, fight with your family, fight with the world. And guess what? It's okay. This life is not even a speck in the time zone. Okay? And then you can just keep on doing what you're doing, and maybe someday you'll rise to the thought that, guess what? It was always based on unconditional love and care for oneself, because you can't do it for someone else. You know, I'm going to tell you, how many courses do you know out there that have a 9-day course and give a 3-day money-back guarantee by the 3-day? And this is not for you to come and take my course. You only come if you go, I'm ready to end this. I'm ready to bring this thing down, you know? And I'm going to tell you something right now. You go ahead, go online. Find out how many people will give a money-back guarantee for a consultation, for a whole course, for a master class. That would be me, because understand something. People that get their money's worth in life don't want their money back. They want their life. They want their life. They want to find as close as they can to their authentic self. And that's the God's truth. And you know, I don't get upset. I get revved up, because every time that somebody actually goes in and lets themselves off the hook, and they actually start loving and caring for themselves, that's my high. That's my high. Okay, all right? And that's my high five to the God that I believe in. And I want to tell you something right now. I want you to have the best day of your life, but you're going to have to connect to the breath. Try the Lionheart breath, 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out. Okay, in my new app, I have a reminder on there. My Braveheart Nation app. This is just one of 1,000 things I've got on there. This is supposed to be, supposedly, they call it the beast. It's so big, my app. But, you know, you'll have a timer, and you can set this timer. It can be a ding, or it can be something beautiful. It could be a harp. It doesn't matter, and it'll go off softly. You could do it every minute if you're a psycho. And understand something. I used to be psycho, okay? So don't get me wrong, okay? I used to be psycho. And the reality is I probably am psycho still. But I'm having a good time. But the reality is, when this little ding goes off on your phone, it's close enough to you, you're saying, am I connected to my breathing? Do I have a slight smile on my face? And am I in the present moment? Those are the 3 amigos. You do that, and guess what's going to happen? Guess what's going to happen? You're going to own your life. So let's see if you can stay in the present moment today. Know that you are actually breathing. Do 6 seconds in, 7 seconds out, a slight smile, shoulders back, and guess what? Walk around like you own it. Okay? And guess what's going to happen? You won't have these parasites attacking you. And I'm talking about the 2-legged ones. God bless. God bless everyone. God bless the world. God bless everybody in the world. God bless everyone that you don't like. God bless them. Because guess what? I don't have to like their beliefs. But I know one thing. If I want to win this game, I am going to have unconditional love for them. Okay? Unconditional love for them. Every moment, because I want to own it. God bless.